Here we are at the Glitz Pit, where we pit the three of us against each other in a quest to see who can earn the most star points. It's a fun little podcasting game segment, and this week we're doing another little debate, this time in honor of Valentine's Day, which made a lot more sense last week before all those technical difficulties delayed the podcast. But so, in honor of Valentine's Day, we are duking it out over the best Nintendo couple. Last week, Alex earned 49 star points for saying that Splatoon was Nintendo's greatest moment of 2015. He won fair and square, which makes him officially the champion of the Glitz Pit. But now it is time to challenge that title, and Alex is playing to defend his claim. Are you ready?
He's got a target on his back.
Oh,
I'm okay with this.
It's egregious, Alex, but you know what? This time justice will be served. We've got 10 minutes on the clock, and at the end we'll go around and say how many star points out of 10 that we think each person deserves. But afterwards, it's up to you guys, listeners, to decide the winner. We'll be launching a Twitter poll where each vote counts as a star point, and whoever's got the most by the time the poll closes will be officially declared the champion of the Glitz Pit. Are you ready to rock?
Let's go.
Let's do this. All right.
So, I guess since I'm defending my title, I'll go first, right?
Yeah,
plus
but hold on, let me get the
the
timer.
ABC order, Alex.
I'm not ready. Yeah,
All right,
ABC.
that's fair too.
All right. Okay, go.
So my pick for best Nintendo couple is Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong.
Ooh.
I think a lot of people don't know they're a couple, but they actually are confirmed to be boyfriend and girlfriend in the in the Donkey Kong Country 2 instruction manual.
It's been like 20 years, Diddy. We need a commitment.
I know. The reason why I picked them is I didn't want to pick a couple that was one of those sort of lovey-dovey couples where you only really see a heart appear over their heads or something like that. And I think that they might actually be the first confirmed Nintendo couple to not just be a couple who has a heart appear over their head at the end of the game, and that's how you know.
But actually do something together?
They're a dream team. Dixie's a great girlfriend. She follows her boyfriend to save his friend Donkey Kong. They work really well together as a team. That was actually Donkey Kong Country 2 was the first game to really introduce teaming mechanics in a really meaningful way for single player.
Definitely.
Even though Donkey Kong Country had done it for multiplayer. They're also a very diverse couple. They have a really nice complementary moveset. Diddy has his cartwheels. Dixie has her
spinny hair thing.
Pony. There's a name for it. Ponytail twirl, I think. And plus, they're just adorable. They're monkeys, which, kids love monkeys. I loved monkeys when I was a kid, so I was really attached to them as a couple. Dixie Kong's moves in particular are very iconic. Diddy Kong is a character that I feel really deserves to have a girlfriend like Dixie Kong. He was the sort of king of cool, and he's the cool Nintendo character with the cool girlfriend.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
So Ben.
All right. So like Alex said, Nintendo didn't really flesh out a lot of their couples early on, or even really characters in general, just because of hardware limitations, making it hard to have any character development. So the first Nintendo couple that I really noticed that was actually fleshed out, and more importantly, the first Nintendo couple that I actually just gave a crap about as a player, really, is Anju and Cafe from Majora's Mask.
Okay.
So Majora's Mask, instead of focusing mostly on going to different dungeons and things like that, it still has 4 dungeons, but it focuses more on the NPC interactions. You've got the whole 3-day cycle where you're meeting these people over and over again, and you can follow them around for 72 hours and see everything they do and interact with them and change up what they do, even, depending on your actions. And this is most true of Anju and Cafe because they've got the longest side quest in the game. It takes you just multiple actions across all 3 days, and to do it fully, you actually have to do the whole quest twice. So as a result, you really get to know these characters, and you follow them around, and you see how much they care about each other. In the game, the moon is falling out of the sky, and it's getting ready to crush Termina, but they have been separated, and that's all they care about. They're really not even that worried about their lives. They're just worried about finding each other and getting things back on track. And like I said, you have to play the quest at least 2 times through if you want to complete the whole game and get everything. But just in general, most people, it's going to take them more than 2 cycles of 3 days to beat the game. So chances are, as you play through the game, you're gonna see how far you can get in their quest every time. You're gonna talk to them and exchange the items, and you just follow the quest as long as it goes. And you see, their grief. You see how sad Cafe is that he's lost the mask that he wants to present to her on their wedding day, and that he's been turned into a kid by the Skull Kid, and he'll go to any lengths to get that mask back and to, save the marriage, or at least that's how he sees it, even if that's not really what's important to her. And she's willing to wait there in Clocktown under the shadow of the crashing moon, until the very last second for him to return. So I just thought it was the first time really that I felt invested in a Nintendo relationship, and then on top of that, it's something you experience over and over and over again in each 3-day cycle as you progress their plot a little further, see a little more what they're going to do, find out a little more about their backstories, and then they affect other characters in the game too. Anju recruits the postman to help her, and
but Anju and the postman are not the best couple, Ben. Let's be clear.
No, but I mean, like, their relationship doesn't just affect you, the player. It actually affects a lot of the citizens of Termina as well. They pull in other people into their little love story. So I thought that was just like the first really meaningful Nintendo relationship that I encountered.
Okay, cool. So my turn up next. We've only got about 5 minutes left on the clock here. Ben thinks that I'm going to choose Wario and Waluigi, but Ben is an idiot. The best couple is obviously Waluigi and me. No. I am choosing Wario and Waluigi.
Oh, I called it.
Yes, you did. You know me too well. I think they are, they're a comedy power duo. Obviously, they're just so funny. Laughter is contagious. Laughter is also the best medicine for its own contagion, I suppose. And it's the best everything. Laughter is also the best Nintendo couple. So there you go. I think, I get why you might not like Waluigi and Wario if, you only know them from, like, Mario Party and stuff like that. But if you play the sports games on GameCube or even on Wii, you really start to see how their camaraderie shines. And they're just such wacky goofballs. They're always getting into hijinks that are so much more interesting than I think people ever give them credit for. Those antics are really cartoony, really fun. I think that's one of the things that Nintendo does best when they actually sort of invest in that.
But do you ship them?
And I see Waluigi may be a popular, like, meme sort of character, but the two of them together are legitimately awesome. The best. So yeah, that's my choice. Best Nintendo couple.
Of course it is.
Well, I threw the punch first last time, so I think it's someone else's turn to cast the first stone.
Well, I guess my counter for you guys had both very solid choices, so I don't have a lot in this counter attack. But Alex, it's been 20 years. Diddy where's the ring? Come on. And for Ben, Cafe is a minor. That's not cool.
He is not a minor.
He is for the most of the game.
Colin, I will counter your counter. It's been 20 years and they're still together.
That's...
Maybe they don't ascribe to your traditional views of gender roles.
What are you saying about monkeys, Ben?
They're more progressive than Colin. Anything else you want to throw at me, Ben?
I don't know. Actually, I was going to say that didn't seem like that great of a couple, but you actually kind of convinced me a little bit with your
really good.
Wow.
I was thinking like Diddy and Dixie would be cool, but like I don't know. I feel like that's not super substantial. You made a great point about how the gameplay actually enforces them being a couple rather than because before I thought it was like a Nana and Popo situation or like anyone else. There's a lot of really sort of cool Nintendo couples that are really very surface level and not interesting, and Diddy and Dixie I thought were kind of there, but you made a very good argument in their favor.
Well, yeah, I think especially given the history of Nintendo couples up to that point, they really are the first Nintendo power couple, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess my argument for you, Colin, will be Waluigi and Wario are both bad guys, and they just sort of fuse each other to do more bad. So I feel like they're a dangerous combination.
There are so many better arguments you could make against my choice.
Yeah, I'll add mine. Mine is that while the chemistry we see between them in the sports games, for example, is really great, that's about all we see. We don't ever see them in kind of a game with some substantive story. We don't see them really interact in that capacity.
Well, yeah, but like...
And so I think they're the best couple to ship, perhaps, but they're not quite the best couple because they haven't quite reached that level yet.
What makes you so sure, Alex? You don't know what goes on back home once they've...
You're right, I don't know what goes on back home, and that's the problem,
Mario
Colin.
Parties,
that's the problem.
Go-kart racing. That's not a problem. Maybe they're just quieter and more peaceful than you realize.
Well, then they're not that great a Nintendo couple.
Fine. You know what? If Miyamoto is Bowser Jr.'s mom, then anything is possible, Alex.
Now, I've noticed there's been a conspicuous amount of not throwing criticism at Ben.
That's right.
I think that's there's a reason for that, and I don't really have a lot to criticize about Cafe and Anju.
Yeah,
their relationship was on the rocks for a little bit, though, but I think that makes the story more powerful, and so that's a really good choice.
Well, even that I think is only sort of like a rumor mill in the town. Like there's someone who,
a gossip stone.
What is it? Like the secretary at the mayor's office says, Cafe's not really going to go through with marrying Anju or something like that.
Well, there's there's that side plot where Anju's mother thinks he's going to run off with Crimea.
Right, but I mean, what mother hasn't thought that the guy her daughter's marrying isn't good enough for her, especially when Cafe disappears. So he up and disappears right before the wedding. People start to spread rumors. I don't necessarily think that they're.
I don't have any specific counters. I just don't feel like. I feel like the story is really good, and I think that's more to Majora's Mask's credit than to Cafe and Anju, because they're very, very side characters. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, I think it's a great couple, but I don't know that I would call it the best Nintendo couple just because it's so off to the side. You know?
I don't know. I think Cafe and Anju are probably.
Oh, there's our timer. You can't. What are you gonna say though?
I think they're one of the most memorable. They're among the most memorable characters of Majora's Mask, even if they are on the side.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, unlike any of the other side characters, they make you experience them. Across all 3 days and over. So.
All right. Well, so that is it. So time to go around and hand out our star points. Up first person who went is Alex. So Ben, what do we think he deserves for Diddy and Dixie Kong?
I'm going to give him an 8 just because I went into this not really expecting to think that Diddy and Dixie were that great of a couple, and like he made a very good argument about how well they work just as a team rather than specifically having romance shoved in your face. They're just a very good team, and I like the idea of a couple that both like sort of push each other to be better. Yeah,
I totally mirror those statements, and I'm with you on an 8, so awesome. Ben, Alex, what do we think Ben deserves?
I gotta give him a 10.
Really?
I knew he was gonna pick.
I was also gonna give him an 8.
He was gonna pick Cafe and Anju, and I really do think they are a really great Nintendo couple. I have no complaints about.
There you go. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna give Ben an 8 for that, just for the same reason. I feel like they're great, but they're a little too off to the sides. What? So all right. So me, Wario and Waluigi.
I'm gonna give you a 10, or not a 10. A 7.
Yeah, no, give me a 10. I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna give you a 7, and I feel like that's actually generous. And the reason why I'm being generous is because I want to see what you see in Wario and Waluigi. But like I said in our discussion, it's just not all there for me.
Well, I mean, they're obviously not a real couple. They're just goofy and they're screwballs, and I just love that. I'm a very like cartoony kind of guy, so that speaks to me, and that's why I like them the best.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines as Alex. I think they're hilarious and they're fun together, but there's not quite enough depth there for me to consider them a great Nintendo couple. So I'm gonna give you a 6.
Ooh, ouch. You guys, this is egregious. Well, the voters will decide.
So Colin, has your constant mentions of your Waluigi fandom just been campaigning for this moment?
No, it's been campaigning to get him into Smash Bros.
Oh, well.
Get the popularity up there, and then...
Here I was thinking you were clever in cultivating an audience that loves Waluigi just so you could win this Glitz pit.
Yeah, it's been 50 episodes going, and it's all led up to this moment.
He's been planning the Glitz pit for...
Alright, so we've all decided what we think we deserve, but it's up to you guys now to award the actual star points. So we'll be putting up a poll on Twitter when the episode goes live on Gamnesia.com, and you guys will cast your vote for whoever you think won. Each vote counts as a star point, and whoever has the most when the poll closes will be officially declared the new champion of the Glitz Pit. But that's not all. There are so many awesome duos in the Nintendoverse, we want to hear which couples you think are the best. So you can email us, you can comment on the podcast post at Gamnesia, or if you want to earn star points of your very own, you can reply to the Twitter poll, and every like that your tweet gets will be 1 star point in your favor. So you can participate. Otherwise, any closing thoughts before we head out here?
This was really fun.
I like
this week.
Yeah, it's great.
I love the
episode.
out there topic choice. Like, amazing.
Hello everybody, thank you for listening to this Nintendo Week clip NWC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more highlights and discussion videos from Nintendo Week podcast, or subscribe to us on iTunes for weekly breakdowns of all your Nintendo news, discussion segments on subjects, games, and more, and tons of other features. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow with another NWC.